By the way, hit that like. You're watching Housebox Mega Worldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Housebox, and I will be houseboxing the rest of the night. And why do you say Housebox over again, Housebox? Why are you houseboxing as Housebox would only do in a situation where Housebox is having a Housebox show? I'm doing it so that the maggots and trolls that are watching the show have my name stuck in their head for days, and I'm just rent-free. I'm moving in. I'm bringing my couch up the stairs, and Hal Sparks is bringing his fucking his futon into your brain. And in the middle of next week, where you're like, why the fuck can't I get Hal Sparks' name out of my head? Now you know. I'm Hal Sparks. And this is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Okay, here we go. This is him on Air Farce One. And he walks out and he says,
"Oh, hello there."
All right. Hold on.
$5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. You know what that card?
Jesus Christ. He's selling his little, like, I'll make up for the debts. You can move into a country that nobody wants to sell to. He's holding up the little gold card.
It's the gold card. The Trump card.
Also, why is that dude filming in sepia? Is this how they do it? Does he have like lossless on his phone so they can color it in later so his skin looks normal? Also, I would like to remind everyone, I do not, I'll see if I can find a better view of this, but I feel like I owe you a nunt warning that at some point we may see Trump's nunt, and it is the thing of nightmares. So please view accordingly. You may have to have a small barf bag, something. I recommend one of those little kitchen waste bags because they're waterproof. But if you get a big, solid view of his nunt, it can be, sleep is necessary to proper health, and you could lose the ability to sleep for days at a time. I know I have. Let me see if there's another angle on this horse shit. This is, by the way, this is their coverage. Can I just say, this is their video. Listen to the audio on this shit.
Who's
the first buyer?
Me. I'm the first. I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks, probably.
I'm the first buyer of the Trump gold card. It's a visa. You're a citizen.
Pretty exciting, right?
Ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one?
They're all citizens, stupid.
Okay, let's go.
First, we'd love to get your reaction, sir, to what's going on in the financial markets today.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know.
No, you didn't.
With a lot of problems, including loss of manufacturing and plants closed up all over the country. You know, we've lost.
Also, all those plants he talks about were closed before he was president the first fucking time.
90,000 plants since NAFTA, if you think of that.
Right. How many have we lost since USMCA?
90,000. It's not even believable.
It's completely believable.
And about 6 million jobs. And so it was a sick patient that went through an operation.
By the way, we didn't lose 90,000 fucking factories and 6 million jobs in the last 4 goddamn years.
On Liberation Day, and it's going to be a booming country, a very booming country.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you walk outside, you're gonna see the booms going on. What the hell? Yeah, it'll be absolutely booming. What is the? I probably should have a boom somewhere. Yes. I don't know how booming. That kind of booming. Okay, cool.
It's going to be amazing, actually. We see it because we have trillions of dollars committed to come in. Trillions.
Sir, can I ask you, when you say that it was an operation,
and the patient's healthy now. Does that mean you see us as kind of towards the high water mark in terms of how high?
Sure. The operation's over, and now we...
The tariffs haven't even gone into effect fully. The operation's not over. Unless you're talking about your colonoscopy, in which case, I don't know why you didn't just ask RFK if his goggles are fogging up. I should have faster.
Captain.
This. Like, we're going straight to, we've got live audio of RFK Jr. Giving Trump his regular exam. So,
let it settle in. You see the plants are starting to construction already. We have many plants.
No, we don't.
Indiana, massive auto plant.
Yes. How many employees? Also, no.
Honda, and we have so many plants, and they'll be
Isn't it Hyundai? Well, I forget.
under construction. And as they start to build, you're going to see a lot of construction jobs, and you're going to see a lot of jobs when they open.
Does that mean chips and pharma tariffs are not on the
They're
table?
starting very soon. The chips are starting very soon. The pharma is going to be starting to come in, I think, at a level that you haven't really seen before.
So that's just the fallback, like you've never seen before. It's going to happen like you've never seen. But this casino is going to be more of a casino than anybody's ever seen before. People are going to have chips at this casino with my face on them, like people haven't ever fucking God.
We are looking at pharma right now. Pharmaceuticals, it's a separate category, and we'll be announcing that sometime in the near future, not too distant future. That's under review right now.
Are you negotiating with?
It's under review. What's under review? What is? Whether or not it's going to happen? Good Lord. Also, I'm sorry if it's very quiet, but again, this is their shit copy of it. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe again, I want to find another version of this that isn't the White House. Let's just show everybody that government can't do anything right, and private industry is so much better at this. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's see. Trump Air Force One questions, I guess. Do that right there. Yeah, here's another.
President Trump catching up.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of good things happening in our country. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. President.
Canada, sir, and after the call, you seem to be much more positive about Canada than you've been in the past.
No, I just think, I've always loved Canada, and we had a very good conversation. The Prime Minister, they've got an election going.
Also, what? This is older. Hold on. Wait, let me find. These are all these. Speaks on tariffs, Doge, Houthis, proxy voting, Air Force One, live now.
We saw him just land there at MIA a short time ago. And
hold on. I got to find which one it is. Son of a
President
bitch.
Trump catching up very, very briefly.
Oh, shut up. That was 3 weeks ago, 3 days ago, 6 days ago. This is one updated 1 hour ago, but I guess that's the list. Hold on. I'll find it because there's clearly today. There we go. Air Force One remarks 2 hours ago. We'll go to the. Oh, that's fucking gut.
to the media to make some comments.
Here you go. This is, I think. Let's put the audio here and listen.
It's going in and see that.
Pretty exciting, right?
You ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one? Okay, let's go.
First, we'd love to get your reaction, sir, to what's going on in the financial markets today.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know, with a lot of problems.
Bullshit.
Including loss of manufacturing and plants closed up all over the country. We've lost 90,000 plants since.
And I would like to point out that, he's lost, I'd say, a fifth of his hair in the last 6 months. Or he's just run out of whatever, it keeps forgetting to staple it on.
NAFTA, if you think of that. 90,000. It's not even believable.
Well, over 3 decades?
And about 6 million jobs. And so it was a sick patient. It went through an operation on Liberation Day. And it's going to be a booming country. A very booming country. It's going to be amazing.
God damn, this sounds, I dare I say it, he sounds even dumber than Besant did.
Actually, and we see it because we have trillions of dollars committed to come in. Trillions.
Sir, can I ask you, when you say that it was an operation and the patient's healthy now, does that mean you see us as kind of towards the high water mark in terms of how high?
Sure. The operation's over, and now we let it settle in.
He didn't repeal the fucking tariffs.
You see the plants are starting to construction already. We have many plants.
We watched this part already.
Indiana, massive auto plant. The Honda.
Okay, so let's check that out real quick. Okay. I'm just curious. Honda, new auto plant. Honda produced next Civic in Indiana, not Mexico, due to tariffs. Sources say to avoid potential tariffs on one of its top-selling car models, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. The change underscores how manufacturers are scrambling. Japan's second largest automaker initially planned to manufacture the next generation in Guanajuato, Mexico, according to 3 people. Production was slated to start in November 2027, according to one of the people. So this is what they're doing. It now plans to build the Civic model in Indiana from May 2028, with an expected annual production rate of 210,000. One of the people said Honda would look to import from nations not hit by the tariff in Indiana when it falls short of demand, one of them said. Of all the people spoken, a Honda spokesperson declined to comment on the changes to the Civic production plan, adding the company would continue to take into account demand and business environment while considering optimal production and allocation globally. Mexico has long been a lower-cost production hub. Honda sends around 80% of its Mexican output to the United States, the second largest auto market after China. I don't see anything about a new factory in Indiana. It seems like they're just using one of their factories they already have. Yeah, they have a factory in Marysville, Indiana. Let's see. Hold on. Honda's boosting it. Jesus Christ. Okay. Honda EV. Yeah, Trump mentions new India Honda plant, but company denies announcement. Yeah. They're just talking about building this, making the Civic possibly in 2 years' time in Indiana instead of Mexico. But Besant just told us that Mexico is, they don't have to pay the tariffs if they make it in Mexico because of USMCA. So because of Trump's stupid fucking USMCA thing, not only is Honda not building a new plant in Indiana, they're not making the Civic that they're planning on making in Mexico in a couple of years. They may move it 2028. They'll start making it. Jesus Christ. Do you think he knows this? Who the fuck told him this? Chuckle nuts back there? Jesus.
And we have so many plants, and they'll be under construction. And as they start to build, you're going to see a lot of construction jobs, and you're going to see a lot of jobs when they open.
Okay, just flat out lie. I mean, just in the blanket sense, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but the one he cited is they're not building a new plant. They're possibly going to move, in theory, the production of their 2027 Civic to their Indiana plant if demand meets it. And I guess to avoid the tariffs, but I think if they can avoid the tariffs by making stuff in Mexico and selling it, which it seems like they can, because it's whatever.
So chips and pharma tariffs are not on the
they're
table.
starting very soon. The chips are starting very soon.
Yeah, because the factory building started under Biden. Jesus.
The pharma is going to be starting to come in, I think, at a level that you haven't really seen before. We are looking at pharma right now, pharmaceuticals. It's a separate category.
Yes, farmer and pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are something when a farmer is accidentally castrated in a mass gelding accident, they replace their testicles with pharmaceuticals. They're a faux testicle that that you can put in your they just give you that sense of something in your pants other than just like air. All right.
And we'll be announcing that sometime in the near future, not too distant future.
Are you
That's under review right now.
Are you negotiating with partners currently?
What we have is we have a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in and many...
No, they're not, by the way. They're not reciprocal. If we don't buy fucking mangoes or coffee from if a country doesn't buy coffee and mangoes from us, but we buy coffee and mangoes from them because we can't grow fucking enough coffee and mangoes in our climate for demand, why would we want? Why would they be forced through tariffs to buy an equal amount? They're not reciprocal. There's not a mango on mango tax.
Every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do.
Yes, going, fuck you, in 30 different languages.
We put ourselves in the driver's seat. If we would have asked some of these countries, almost most of these countries, to do us a favor, they would have said, no, now they'll do anything for us.
I don't think so.
But we have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
But are you open to deals with these countries if they're calling you?
Well, it depends. If somebody said that we're going to give you something that's so phenomenal, as long as they're giving us something that's good. For instance, with TikTok as an example, we have a situation with TikTok where China will probably say, we'll approve a deal, but will you do something on the tariff?
Bullshit. No. China's not selling TikTok to fucking Amazon or anybody else along with the algorithm, which is the only fucking reason to buy it. It's the only thing that matters. You think somebody can't make a fucking like short video sharing website or app? Are you kidding me? Vine, Snapchat. What's the one that Mark Cuban likes? Skylight? What's that one? Hold on. Skylight. Love the too. Sorry. Starlight is making me think. Okay, so Sky, is it Sky? What's it called? Skylight app video sharing, I don't know, whatever. Skylight. Skylight social app. Can others use the moment? How do I send videos to Skylight? Skylight apps on Google Play using let's get Skylight Free Plus. That's Skylight app. Where is it? Okay, so you can do it. Where is there a login? Say Skylight Plus Skylight app. I don't know. Let's see what this is. Click on the thing. Skylight apps on Google. Is there a desktop version of it? How to use Skylight apps on Google. Fuck me. Okay, let's just go to Skylight support. And we'll just go to see if we can backdate it to just Skylight. There we go. Jesus, is this it? Can't be. Skylight frame user guide. Blah, blah, blah. Skylight support powered by Zendesk. Another Skylight frame. Skylight frame FAQ. How do I preload photos on his for? Oh no, that's different. The hell? Does anybody know what it is? Am I scrolling past it? Skylight means it links when it rains. Yeah. I'll find it later. But you got it. You get the point.
The tariffs give us great power to negotiate. Always have. I've used them very well in the first administration, as you saw, but now we're taking it to a whole new level because it's a worldwide situation, and it's very exciting to see. And what it's done is driven a lot of great companies to our country, and you're going to see construction starting all over. I already got a couple of calls from Lee Zeldin from Environmental. He's got some big plans to approve.
Yeah, you're. The reason we haven't had a bunch of these factories in our fucking country is because there is no way to do these things without polluting the groundwater around them. And so he's like, fuck it, bring the factory. I don't care. I don't drink that fucking water. I just, you know, every day and every way, I just drink more and more. Hold on one second. Where is it? Just
Talk!
exactly.
Like really, Mr. President.
How long will it take to get American manufacturing, to where you would like to see it?
Well, let's say it's a 2-year process. You know, they start a plant, and they're big plants. We're giving them approval to also, in many cases,
No, it's not a 2-year process.
to build the electric facility with it. So you have electric generation and the plant, and they're big plants. Now, the good news is a lot of money for them, and they can build them fast, but they're still very big plants. So I'd always say it would take 1.5 to 2 years.
Which is bullshit.
President, can I ask you about the
They've already
NSC?
started.
Mr. President, have you been following
You mean the ones that started under Biden?
the New York City mayor's race, and specifically Andrew Cuomo is now the front runner according to the polls? How do you feel about that? Do you think you can have a good relationship with the mayor, Andrew Cuomo?
Well, I've always gotten along with him. We had our ins and outs a little bit. We did a great job.
Yeah, but once he was accused of, you know, sexual battery and sexually harassing his staff, I was like, brother.
Remember, we built the convention center rooms for him. He didn't use them, unfortunately. And we sent the Mercy ship. We sent the really magnificent hospital ship, and they didn't use it. But we always had a pretty good relationship.
You going to make an endorsement in that race?
Well, it's not something I'm thinking about yet. Is he thinking about running? Yeah.
On Russia, Ukraine, there's a Russian envoy in town for some meetings. Can you give us an update on how that's going?
We do. We have an envoy from Russia. We're talking about it. We're like...
He just found out about it. There's an envoy in town. Is there something going? Yeah, I just heard there's an envoy in town. From who? From you.
See that stop as soon as possible, because thousands of people are being killed.
Really? In a war? Thousands of people are being killed? Soldiers, mostly? Young soldiers? Gee, that's weird for a war in human history. I thought you were going to solve it in a fucking phone call.
Weak soldiers, mostly soldiers.
Never would have happened, and blah, never would have happened.
And Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers. And
yeah, mostly some North Korean soldiers, and of course some Chechens and some abducted immigrants.
You're losing 2,000, 3,000 sometimes a week. So
10,000 a week, stupid.
we're spearheading the drive to get it done.
Are you? So how dull is this fucking spear?
Europe has not been successful in dealing with President Putin, but I think I will be successful.
Sir, can
Oh yeah? Based on what?
I ask you about the NSC? How many staffers were let go and why? Your National Security Council, how many staffers were let go?
There were some. Always we're going to let go of people that we don't like, or people that we don't think can do the job, or people that may have...
Laura, for those of you who don't know, Laura Loomer came to the White House and basically talked him into firing some people from the NSC, the National Security Council, because she thought they were insufficiently loyal or too not maggoty enough. Oh, Substack's down. Oh, does it? Well, it might only let me do it for a short time. Is that what happens? Hold on. I'm going to check it out. Check it out. You silly thing. You silly doggy. What's going on? I know I can do this. Substack. Why'd you go down, Substack? What's your problem? Why would you do such a thing? Posts. Do I go to my home? Are you sure it's down? Did it just stop? What happened? Home. Looking. It's such like I gotta say, Substack is very weird in its posting to like find your own my own dashboard. There we go. Should go. All right, let me try this. I'll do a new live video and I'll just restart it. What do you think? I would hate for people to miss the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. Wouldn't you? Okay, there we go. We'll copy that. Copy. And then we'll go down here. And apparently we'll go into here and we'll unclick that. And we're fine. And then we'll go into this. We open this up and we toss this in here. We hit V. And then we go OK. And then hopefully I didn't get, floored because of some personal reason. They don't like me there. But I think we should be up perhaps in a new Tik Tok, Tik Tok, Tik Tok. It might be an hourly thing. Maybe they're just letting you do an hour right now or something. Hey, look at that. It's back up. Sort of. It'll be a different link, but it's there. I'm checking it. Hold on. Fucking get this dude. This dude can do everything. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. And not afraid to get his hands dirty. All right. Don't even get me started. All right. There we go. Hi, live chat. There we go. Throw some hearts in there so people know we're here and it pops me up on that. Hey, check this out. Can I? All right. Chat room, after I just fix that, can I show you something real quick? This is a very Rob Glenn kind of a thing, but let me show you. Let me grab something real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. So I'm hello. I feel really blurry right now. I don't really feel myself. I don't know if it's a stomach thing or something, or this is a weird thing. Oh, I feel much better. Okay. So I got a new 3D printer on the cheap because of this site that that MacBids thing that sells stuff that people have returned. And the reason I got it cheap, because it's a very nice one, is because whoever got it didn't realize you have to flip a switch to make the power on it English or like American or European. So there's like a little switch that's inside a little panel, like a game of operation, and you have to click it over or it won't work. It will not turn on. It will not do any of that. Okay. And so apparently that was the problem. They had dozens of these things. And I was like, why do they have so many of them? Are they fucked up or whatever? And you don't know. If you buy the thing, you're like, take it home and you try to turn it on. It was shit. So I plug it in and I set it up and all this kind of thing. And I turn it on and nothing. And I'm like, off and on. The thing, if they check this and manual, turn it off and on. Is there a fuse? Not a fuse. And then I see on the little side, it has this little tiny writing. And it's got a little like open hole in there. And I was like, if there's a hole, I can do something with it. And inside you can see this little switch and I can see the 240 versus 150 or whatever. And so for the voltage for a plug here that they have, you have to click it to 150. So, hi, Rob. So it wasn't working and I put my little screwdriver in there, click, and it fired right up. And I was like, sweet as shit. And so I've been doing a couple of test prints with it. Hi, Rob. We'll talk about this tomorrow. So I did, like my little symbol that I, this kind of thing. I made I made ones that have little holes in them so you can hang them as a necklace like this. And I was going to try different versions of them, or whatever. I just drew on the side with a Sharpie just because this is white plastic. I was testing with white plastic. So all my test prints are white, which is, shouldn't be offensive. And then I made it like a small one of these. And then, so my son loves the game Helldiver. And so I started going, I think this thing's big enough where I could print armor from it for his for Halloween. So if he decides he wants to be a Helldiver for Halloween, I can print the entire armor for him like cosplay shit. So I started working on that to see if I could, anyways. So I made the shoulder covers. Now these are more my size. This was just kind of like, because I was using mine for measurement. And so I printed 2 of these, and they're actually pretty nice. They're very shiny and that kind of stuff. They need to be painted, I think, you know, and all that kind of stuff is a baseline. So I made 2 of them, and this one's a little thinner on the side because you could if you could see through it, maybe you can. Hold on. You can see kind of like the spiral of the plastic, so it's not like rock solid plastic, whatever. And then I went in and I found a Helldiver model online, and then I cut out a piece of it, and then this is the armor from the game. So this is for it, like for cam or whatever, and I just did a test print on it to see if I could reshape it, and then that yeah. So this is the first shoulder one, and then I'll make another one, and then what I'm going to do is basically when Cam's here in the summer, I'll just measure them, and then I'll take these things and I'll just scale them down. So I'll build the whole thing so that it all works, and then we'll just scale it down to him. And so I'm just a dad making some toys for his son while having fun myself at the same time. So yeah. So anyway, so this is it's got ridges on it, so I need to smooth it out a little bit. But I mean, these are just test runs so that I know that I can be, you know, I can get the basic shape right and shit like that. So yeah, so I'm making, and the nice thing is I think this thing is big enough where I can make a full-size helmet for his head. I can't make one for my head because my head is enormous, but I could make one for him. I know I could make it in 2 parts. Rob Glenn could help me with that. I know he could. I'm not trying to pester him on live video to help me break down a helmet into 4 printable parts. But I may make a phone call because he has done similar things, and that's one of the other reasons why he's awesome. Don't forget to check out Friday Eye tomorrow. Now, back to we got to stop being smart for a second and go back to being stupid. Because this is what we got to deal with. So there you go.
Somebody else, you'll always have that.
So you mentioned Netanyahu recently. Israel has now talked about staying in Gaza, doing long-term occupation. Has anything changed in regard?
Do you think the guy? Do you think his staff has the guy with the mic hold it in that place so the light doesn't reflect off of his skull, so you can't see how bald he is? Because from the other angle, like you could really tell when the light was over his head. So it feels like they're doing him a favor.
To the U.S. Gaza Israel plans.
I spoke to him today, as a matter of fact, and I think he's going to be coming to our country sometime in the not too distant future, maybe next week. And we'll speak about Israel, and we'll speak about what's going on. That's another thing we'd like to get solved, and I think we will get it solved. But I think he very well may.
Thank you, Dragon X Flyer. I will noted.
Becoming next one, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, is that what his name is? I always forget. Guy, you know, little fella you might have heard of named Benjamin Netanyahu. Don't call him BB because he gets really mad and he gives you a titty twist.
Follow up on your earlier comment about TikTok. You said that the Chinese might be willing to agree to approve that sale in exchange for tariff relief. Is that something that you've floated to them or you've heard from them? Or
no, I'm just using that as an example.
Right, of other shit that isn't going to happen either. I'm just going to fucking... It's just fiction. I was just giving you an example. You know, there's Harry Potter and, you know, great works of fiction. My healthcare plan, the idea that somebody's going to buy TikTok and turn it into trillions of dollars to save my economy and still support my presidency.
Let's say we had a problem with TikTok, and let's say
we have a problem with TikTok.
China wasn't going to approve. We could use tariffs in order to get it approved. You know.
No, you couldn't. It's proprietary military software, stupid. That's why it's malware. Get it off your fucking phone. Jesus, they're not going to sell it. That's like saying, you know, like I think nuclear missiles, if you really think about it, it's just a big column, you know, and if you take the point off, you could sell the column, you know, out of it, and it would be great for like houses and architecture or like big buildings or whatever. You could just use the missile part as a column or whatever and stuff. And if they'd be willing to sell us their nuclear technology, we could just use that for construction. It doesn't work that way, dummy.
The deadline
Let
is
me give them
Saturday.
something in return.
What's the update on the deal?
Give them something in return. Yeah, I think I have an idea.
Negotiations for
We have,
TikTok.
we're very close to a deal with a very good group of people.
Yeah, those people. I love them. The very good people. The very good group of people.
TikTok.
Larry Ellison and Oracle.
Is it multiple investors? Just
Multiple.
And then did the last minute bids kind of throw things into disarray for you, or do you have your strategy completely locked up on who's going to?
Which last minute?
Amazon.
On acquiring TikTok.
No,
There were, like, some last minute
I think that China maybe will call and say, well, we're upset with the tariffs, and maybe they want to get something a little bit in order to get TikTok approved. Who knows?
Is there plans underway to
Get TikTok approved. What, like the sale of it approved? They're not going to approve the sale, dummy. ByteDance is a criminal enterprise. It is a military company. Jesus Christ. If they sell it, it will be without the algorithm. And without the algorithm, it's fucking Vine. If anybody buys it, pays anywhere near like a market value for it, they're out of their fucking minds. No, I'm not knocking Vine, by the way. I think it should be brought back. One of the things that TikTok did was capsize Vine and Snapchat. Also, I really want to thank. We have some trolls and some maggots in the chat today. I want to thank them for being here. They help us out with the algorithm in a way that our regular viewers can't. So thanks very much for being here. And not only, like, it's one thing when you watch, that's one thing. But when you write stuff, it tells the algorithm, gee, this guy's engaging.
I have no knowledge of that, but that's the kind of thing.
On Israel, can you give us any update on the Palestinian relocation plan? Are we talking to any countries?
We're going to try and solve the Gaza problem. It's been a problem.
We're going to try and solve the Gaza problem. Maybe with tariffs. Maybe they'll be afraid to tariff. Maybe put tariffs on them, and maybe they'll self-move.
Problem for many years, for many, many decades. It's been a big problem. I've met with, as you know, a lot of the hostages. It's a terrible situation. But if you notice, hostages are being released now. And that's happened only since I got involved. So
no, they aren't. They've stopped being released. That deal fell apart. It's over. They aren't. Did nobody tell this motherfucker that the ceasefire ended?
We have hostages being released. Quite a few, actually.
You're still
No, you don't.
committed to the
And hopefully,
relocation?
I'd like to get as many hostages as we can. And then Gaza's a very, very important thing. It's
Yes, so it is. Gaza, it's so important, you know. I believe the Gazans are the future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty that they have inside. Sorry.
It's been under siege for many, many years, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
Sorry, Gaza's been under siege for many, many years. I don't know, maybe talk to, what's that guy's name again? Benjamin something or other. Apparently you're going to talk to him in the very near future.
A lot of people die in Gaza. Gaza's been a place we have a lot of people die. A lot of bad things happen in Gaza. We'll see.
Jesus Christ. It's like he's talking about the Bronx in 1978.
What we can do about it.
The dinner tonight, can you tell us about it? Who's going to be there? Any leader?
Maybe get Bibi to not blow up hospitals. How about that? I mean, I'm just spitballing.
So dinner tonight is sort of I have a couple of them, actually.
You know, Gaza's a place that's very important. A lot of death, a lot of dying, a lot of murder and bombing and millenniums of death and dying and sad, and Russia and Ukraine, the death and the dying. Anyways, dinner tonight, we're going to have a fruit cup, and I'm going to have a banana and a filet-o-fish, and somebody's going to bring me a Tik Tok! And then I'm going to wave at everybody and say,
hello there.
But a lot of it's based around charity. It's at Doral, and we raise a lot of money for charities. We're going to also have to have.
You also make a lot of money from charities. Like, you don't give the fucking site away for free. You don't donate Doral. You charge charities to have events there. You know, like a billionaire would.
One of the big golf tournaments, professional golf tournament there live, and that'll take place over the next few days.
Right. So you wreck the economy and then fly off to go to a charity dinner where you'll eat, where you didn't give any money, and then you'll play golf in with people that are actual golfers, and you can go, I won a golf championship, but I wasn't even in the entire state.
And Doral from, I guess, tomorrow till I think they have a pro-am right now, but I'll be speaking tonight. I think I'm making a speech to the players, great players.
Great. Yes. Well, after a 4% drop in the Dow and $3 trillion wiped out in the economy, I'll be giving a speech to a bunch of fucking golfers.
Some of the best players in the world.
Golf is not a sport. It's a pastoral activity for old people.
And ultimately, hopefully, the two tours are going to merge. That would be good. I'm involved in that too. But hopefully, we're going to.
Yes, you're in business with the Saudis. We know.
Get the two tours to merge. You have the PGA Tour, you have the LIV Tour, and I think having them merge would be a great thing.
Mr. President.
Yes.
About the tariffs, do you have any?
You mean having the Saudis swallow up America's golf industry? That's what you mean by merge.
Message for the American businesses that might feel the impact of any reciprocal tariffs coming from the EU, for example, or from other countries?
Well, I think it's going to all work out. Remember, there are no tariffs if you build your plant or you build your product, make your product in the U.S. And so a lot of people, I mean, there's going to be a trend.
What if you make your product in the U.S. with parts you can only get overseas? Maybe they have a different take.
Transition period, because they're going to be building instead of paying tariffs to some other place. But there are no tariffs. You know, if you think there are no tariffs, all you have to do is build, make your product in the United States. So it's and a lot of people are doing that. They're moving like the auto.
Also, for the record, you pay taxes, though. You're not removing taxes on them. They still pay something. They're just not paying the tariff.
Companies, I know, I've spoken to two of the.
By the way, no country charges tariffs on its domestic industry. Is that news to him? Nobody does.
4 or 5 that are really active. And they've already started moving their parts making things out of Mexico, out of Canada, and into the United States.
No, they haven't. They've signaled they may do it in 2027.
Do you have a sense of how long Elon Musk's mission will last and when he will depart?
Well, Elon is fantastic. And I think it's, he's a patriot, and I think it's a shame what they're doing with his car company. And a great car. It's a great car, great product.
I love Tesla.
And it tells you what a patriot he is. He's amazing. No, I mean, as long as he'd like, I like smart.
If he's a patriot, why does he get his aluminum from Russia? If he's a patriot, why is his biggest factory in Shanghai? As a baseline, seems curious.
People, and he's a smart person. I also like him personally. When he endorsed me, that's when I really got to know him. I know him a little bit before that, but not much. And then he endorsed me.
By the way, does Lugnuts have to be standing there the whole time during this whole tariff thing, in case Trump wants to, like the questions get too much and he just taps him in and goes, "Hey, bullshit these people for a minute. I got to go take a dump," or is he really pulling the strings with these other folks? Has Lugnuts been assigned to Trump to push this shit?
It's a very strong, embracing endorsement, as we all know, and
yes, a jumping endorsement.
I would say Elon will stay for a certain period of time, and then he's going to want to get back to his businesses full time.
Yeah, because I mean, to fuck him up worse than he's already fucked him up, he has to actually be there.
But he's done a fantastic job. We found hundreds of, think of it, just hundreds of, in fact, millions of dollars of fraud and
And was he going to say hundreds of dollars of fraud?
abuse and waste, and they're still going. I mean, they're going strong. They found something today that's horrible.
Oh yeah, what was it? They found something. It was horrible. It was horrible. Tell us. Please let us know. I mean, if it was horrible, I mean, how many of us can say we legitimately saw something horrible today and we don't remember what it was?
Horrible. So what they found, well, you'll find out very soon.
Yeah, you're going to find out pretty soon. But let me tell you, it's horrible.
They found is incredible.
It's incredibly horrible. It's incredible and horrible.
And I give him a lot of credit. He's got some very smart people with him.
Do you think he can finish?
They're working very closely with
The horror. The horror.
our secretaries and the people that are the heads of.
Do you think you would appoint him to another position once his 130 days?
Well, I think Elon's great, but he also has a company to run, or a number of companies to run. You know, that he.
No, actually, SpaceX is doing better with him without him hanging around. I would just like to say, for the record, you notice how their mission quality has improved a little bit since he hasn't been on site.
Can do this, that he can find the time.
And then he showed up at that one launch, and
he loves the country. That's why he does it.
yes, he does love the country. South Africa, well, not as it is now, as it was in, before the America and their stupid dog got involved.
But we're in no rush. But there'll be a point at which time Elon's going to have to leave.
Sir,
Yes, I agree.
a specific date.
I would think a few months.
Even when Elon leaves and goes back to being CEO, will Doge stick around in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, it'll style Doge itself. Yeah. At
What
some
does that look
point,
like?
just so you understand, I don't want to get it wrong. I want Elon to stay as long as possible. Number one, I like him. Number two, he's doing a great job. Number three, he is a patriot. That's why he's doing this. And he's, it's very costly for him. But
No, it's not. It is not costly for him. His fucking stupid business decisions are costly for him.
so I want him to stay as long as.
Yes, 21st century suffragettes. It is right now. I'm trying to find a remedy for it, but right now I cannot. I'm working on it though. I think I have a workaround, but trust me, not easy.
Possible, but there'll be a point where he's going to have to leave, and when he does, the secretaries will take totally over, and Doge will stay active. We have a lot of smart people. A lot of those people, I believe, are going to go into the agencies, and they'll work on it from the.
Yes, I believe you call that the deep state. So you're planting deep state operatives, I think is how you would put it. You take partisans and you put them in positions of, in nonpartisan areas of agencies, and make sure that your work continues in spite of any, the United States or the population wanting to change things. All the things that you said Biden and Obama did, you're doing that.
You mentioned auto companies that you've been speaking with. Have you spoken to any executives today?
Yeah. I don't want to say who, but I speak to a lot of.
Yeah, I talked to Tim Ford, and I talked to Jerry GMC himself, and Captain Nissan. I met him the other day. He flew by the plane and knocked on the window, and we talked for a little bit. Amazing superpowers. Mrs. Honda was here for a little while. She left.
The auto executives, but we have much more than autos. We have chips coming in. We have steel coming in.
Do they call
The steel factories.
exemptions?
The steel factories are opening up and expanding at levels that people have not seen. Also,
That little side eye, like, yeah, steel. It's making a huge steel's doing great.
Tell us a little bit about your meeting with Laura Loomer and Mike Waltz today, and how that came about.
So Laura Loomer is a very good patriot. She is a very strong person, and I saw her yesterday for a little while. She makes recommendations of things and people And sometimes I listen to those recommendations like I do with everybody. I listen to everybody and then I make
Everybody?
a decision. But I saw her yesterday. She was at the ceremony.
I think the word is anybody.
And she'll always have something to say, usually very constructive.
What did she recommend?
She'll always have something to say, usually constructive. Okay.
She recommended certain people for jobs.
She recommended certain people for jobs. No, she didn't. She recommended you fire certain people. You know, you fired. I don't know. There used to be a show on where some guy said that. It was a stupid line, and the guy who said it never actually fired anybody. The producers made the choice, but
Adding to the administration, not
Adding.
Who did she
not
recommend?
firing.
Well, she'll recommend that too. But yesterday she recommended some people for jobs.
Did she have any?
yes, she recommended they enter the private sector after leaving the job in the
Anything
government.
to do with the NSC aides who were ousted?
No, not at all.
Do you know how many, sir? Do you know how many from the NSC?
Not many.
Was it 5, a dozen?
I really don't know.
Who does
I really don't know how many people were fired on her recommendation from my national security team. Fuck.
There were a couple that I know.
who did Laura recommend hiring?
Well, I don't want to say that, but she's
I don't remember the governor's names or the head of the fucking Ford. Do you think I'm going to remember some dipshit she suggested? Besides, her mouth was full.
recommended some good people over the years. She's been in the party a long time. She's done a good job.
Do you trust your national security staff is doing what you want them to do?
Sure. We've done very well. We've had big success with the Houthis, as you probably know.
Well, yes. I heard that from Goldberg. Also, Houthis.
Nobody's been able to do it like us.
Yeah, I'm still on. I started late, but and I haven't even gotten to the stuff I intended to cover.
They were shooting the boats out of the water. They were sinking ships. That's what they want to do. They're getting a big charge out of sinking ships.
No, they weren't. They captured more than they sank.
And unfortunately, they're associated with Iran very closely. So they have to
Unfortunately, they're associated with Iran. You mean like Russia is?
stop that, but we've hit them very hard, and we've been hitting them very hard.
Sir, did you talk to Congresswoman Luna about her resolution to give maternity? The Congresswoman about her resolution to allow proxy voting for new mothers? Did you speak to her?
I did, and I would say this. I guess there's two sides to it, right? It's a little controversial. I don't know why it's controversial. I think she's great. Anna.
Do you support her movement?
Anna. You mean Anna Paulina Luna? Anna, sorry, she's Anna Paulina Luna. Anna Paulina Luna. Which, Anna Paulina Luna is the thing to say when you want to ruin Johnson's day. Boop-a-doo-doo. Hey, Anna Paulina Luna. It's a thing to say.
I think that's, and I'm going to let the speaker make the decision, but I like the idea of
That's the other thing. He, you know that thing that Mike Johnson shut down all the votes this week because of the Anna Paulina Luna. Yeah, that thing that happened. He came out in support of her against Mike Johnson after they'd scuttled all the votes this week. So if I could, again, just chucking matches.
being able to, if you're having a baby, I think you should be able to call in and vote. I'm in favor of that. But
During the birth, or
I understand some people aren't. I'm not involved in the issue, but I did. I spoke to Anna yesterday.
Anna. Where are you, Anna? Come forth and show us all your great. She is great with child. Anna Paulina Luna.
She and some people feel strongly about it, and I would agree with them. Yeah.
Sir, you mentioned your wrong.
This is so fucking boring. Sorry. Okay. You know what? I'm over this.